Everyone's wrong, okay? Let's just start there. There are no winners here. Everyone is wrong, including me, and I hope we can fix that. It started in the preseason when Green Bay Packers tight end Martellus Bennett tweeted this: "I don't care about your fantasy football team. Thanks. Sincerely, real-life football guy.And." What has followed in recent weeks is a slew of tweets from NFL players on the same subject, including Tyler Eifert, Odell Beckham Jr., LeGarrette, Blount and Tate, among others. Some are nicer than others, some are more aware than others, some use ahem, saltier language than others. But the message is the same. I don't care about your fantasy team. Stop tweeting at me about it. I don't care. This is not a new phenomenon. I remember getting into a 2015 preseason Twitter back and forth with Jeremy McLean over the same subject. Over the years, Arian Foster and Ray Rice have been very vocal about fantasy football and their disdain for having it pushed on them. And here's the thing, they are right. No NFL player should care about someone's fantasy football team. Professionally, all that should be expected of them is that they concentrate on helping their NFL teams win games. Let me take a moment here to get on my soapbox. Stop. Just stop. Don't tweet at NFL players. Don't do it. In the words of Coach Herm Edwards, don't press send. I have a solution for you at the end of this column, but in the meantime, tweeting to players is a waste of time. For you, for the player, for the universe. I understand that there is a statistical and transactional nature to fantasy football. It contributes to people thinking of NFL players as statistical pieces of meat rather than as real people with emotions and personal challenges. That doesn't make it right. And if you don't get that, I strongly recommend reading Kevin Van Valkenburg's great piece on Seahawks running back Eddie Lacy and his public battle with weight management. But either way, I assure you, whatever NFL player you are tweeting at gave it his all on the field. He is working hard at getting healthy and trying to come back. If he had a bad game, I promise you, he is already well aware of it. No need to let him know. There's plenty of things in this world that deserve your attention, your passion and your thoughts online. This ain't one of them. So I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to every NFL player who has ever received online grief from fantasy owners. It's not right. I'm embarrassed by it, and I hope I can help contribute to improving the situation. I also want to personally and specifically apologize to Martellus Bennett. After he tweeted his real football guy line, well, I took exception to it. If we are all just an amalgam of our experiences, I'm one who has waved the flag for fantasy football for over 3 decades. I've heard enough Dungeons and Dragons mom's basement jokes to last 5 lifetimes, and working on the 6th. You should see the mentions on Martellus's timeline after this tweet. I've written before about the not always smooth path that fantasy football has taken in major media companies, including ESPN. So I am sensitive, overly, if I am being honest, and protective of this little game we play, and it just seemed so weird for Bennett to just tweet that, out of the blue. The real-life football guy part struck me as condescending and passive-aggressive toward the game we play. Anyway, I responded to his assertion that he doesn't care about our fantasy teams. So I want to apologize to Martellus here, because I shouldn't have used jerk. That was too aggressive, and that's on me. I'll own my role in this and cop to the fact that I'm not perfect either, especially on social media. So that's on me and me alone. And so when I am sitting here lecturing people about how they treat NFL players online, realize I am including myself there as well. After that tweet, Martellus and I went back and forth in a more civil discussion about it, which I was glad about. My disappointment, however, is that while I see his point, he didn't see mine. He retweeted an easy Dungeons and Dragons barb. He joked back and forth with Eifert, who also doesn't care about your fantasy team, by the way, and most specifically, disagreed with my point that fantasy football helps him in any way. And that's what I mean when I say everyone's wrong. Fantasy players should not be tweeting anger at NFL athletes. And those same athletes should not care about fantasy football at all. But they also shouldn't be dismissive of it. The truth is, fantasy football is great for the NFL and, ultimately, great for players. For the most part, fans care about teams. They like the Packers or the Patriots or the Redskins or whomever. They care about the league.